tinted medical exam paper. Take 82. Action.
I have seen people talk briefly. I didn't spend a lot of time looking at it. I know you did a little bit more investigating about exam paper, and you looked at the reasons why you want the crepe and yada, yada, yada. As we play with things, we sometimes come upon these ideas, and I don't think this was necessarily on our agenda for this week, but it was one of those things that just happened kind of organically. And you can show them, but I think the results are pretty interesting because you can really see the map underlaying it. So you get the pattern of the stencil, you get the color, and you get whatever it is that's underneath. I found that to be really, really interesting.
Yes, so we tinted the exam paper in addition to stenciling on it, and then we overlaid it onto printed material underneath it for transparent overlays in collage. So it was a completely different effect than just leaving it sheer on its own color and stenciling on it, to tint it and then apply that color to everything that showed through. So that was something we hadn't done before. Barb just did this on her own yesterday, and I was like, oh, I have an idea for that. So.
One of the things that you say in the video that I found very interesting was that the tinted paper pulls it all together and acts as a unifying feature. And I think that that's a really important thing that's worth talking about.
Yeah, if you wanted it to be, if you want your background to be blue, you can throw down all kinds of different collage fodder underneath it and lay this over the top. And the tint that's on the medical exam paper is going to tint everything that shows through it. So now everything that shows through that is blue. Everything that shows through this has a hue of pink, regardless of what color it was underneath. And the same with this one. It has a hue of yellow, regardless of what color it was underneath. It's kind of like looking through colored glasses.
Rose-colored
Yeah, rose-colored glasses, which I just ordered a pair of those this morning.
Did you really?
Yes, because they're supposed to help with the light sensitivity.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're supposed to be good to filter out light. We try everything we can.
That's right. And we try everything we can to figure out fun ways to do things.
Yeah, so let's go show them how we did it.
All right.
All right. So Barb and I were working on transparent overlays for collage the other day, and I often use a stencil print such as this one, where it's just white on wet strength tissue or medical exam paper. So today we're working with the medical exam paper, and I'll just do the white and put it over some printed material and let that printed material show through the negative spaces. Yesterday, Barb kind of had a super cool idea, and she took the white print, she flipped it over, and she put a wash of color on the back. So now what shows through the spaces is all going to be a uniform color. So if you don't want a bunch of random color or busy color, if you want to unify it all into like a pink shade that makes it, kind of calms it down a little bit because it makes everything kind of uniform regardless of what shows through, the pink shade I thought was a really cool idea. And it could be any tint, but so you can see here, you would see the text through, but it would be in the shade of the tint that you sent through the back. So I thought this was just taking the transparent overlay to the next level, and I thought it was a really cool idea. So we're going to glue them down and see how they look. So the first step is to take the Echoes of Klimt stencil and print it in white onto the medical exam paper. Now, the medical exam paper does not have one side or the other that you should be printing on. So in other words, it doesn't have a smooth side and a rough side. It's uncoated and rough on both sides. And that is the crepe style medical exam paper. And I think from my research, the crepe style medical exam paper is the one that goes the most translucent, transparent. There are other styles of medical exam paper. So there's the paper.
There's the paper.
So we're going to be using titanium white. If you are not familiar, zinc white is not as opaque as titanium white. So what you definitely want to use titanium white for this, because the idea is that the pink tint is only coming through the open areas. And if your white is not opaque, the pink tint will come through that more than it does. It does come through slightly with this white, but if you use zinc white, you're gonna have less opaque white. So here we're gonna put the stencil down into that nice layer of white. And we're gonna take the exam paper and press. And the kind of cool thing about this paper is it's already translucent, so you can really see how the paint is coming through, and if you've got good pressure and if you've got good contact. So that's kind of neat. You get kind of visual feedback on that. So I just give it some extra pressure through the little circular openings, and then we're gonna have a pretty good solid print of Echoes of Klimt. So we're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna do a ghost print. But before we do, I'm gonna clean out with a scrap paper some of the remaining white that's still in the opening, so we get a good ghost print. So I'll just add a little pressure with a cleanup sheet. Then we're gonna lift, and we have a nice ghost print. And we'll take another sheet of the exam paper and print that. So we'll have a positive and a negative of the image, and it just depends on if you want to see your type and text revealed in the negative spaces or in the positive spaces of this design. Also, you need to remember that there's always a certain amount of paint from the ghost print. There's always a certain amount of paint that sticks to the back of the stencil. So this print is never as solid and opaque as the first one, because this is 100% paint in direct contact with the paper, and this is a little bit less because some of it is stuck to the back of the stencil. So we'll have some openings, some little sheer areas in here that we won't have in there. Okay, so the next step, I'm gonna change my space here, and we will brush a tint through the back. Okay, so the first example that Barb did is a pink color. So the next one I thought I would do is a manganese blue. I chose the manganese blue because it's completely transparent. You can see that by this open box on the front of the container, and I figured that way it'll let a lot of the material that's layered underneath it in the collage show through. However, Barb used a lot of water in this, and so even if it is a slightly opaque color, when you put a lot of water in it, you can see through it. So so you're going to be working on the back of the medical exam paper. So the gel print is on this side, and I am working on the back side. So I'm just going to put a little paint out to the side, and it's easier if you wet the paper first, and then we'll just brush. Probably gonna need more paint than that.
Might want to be a little bit more extravagant with the paint.
Right. All right, so mix a bunch of water in it. And the nice, one of the properties that we figured out about this medical exam paper is that it's pretty sturdy when it's wet. It's not falling apart like regular tissue would.
I was actually surprised by that. I thought for certain that it would not be as structurally sound as it is.
Yeah, me too. I thought, oh God, this is so thin and crepey, like when it gets wet, it's just gonna disintegrate. But no, it's holding up quite nicely. And another thing that we should mention that we learned from playing with it is that it doesn't have a grain. So if you want, when you want to tear it for collage, you can tear it curved, you can tear it this way, you can tear it that way, diagonal, rounded, because it doesn't have a grain that forces you to like have to go with it. So that's really terrific, especially for my purposes in collage, because I do tear a lot of organic shapes, and it's nice to have a paper that doesn't fight you with that. Okay, a little bit more on the corner here. So again, this is the back of the paper, and I watered down the paint, and I chose, for this particular one, I chose a color of paint that's totally translucent. So now we're just gonna flip it over. So we'll wipe this up. And this is still, it's wet all the way through, but you can see that when you paint it from the back like that, the white is staying bright and white. It's not getting so much blue over the top that it changes the color of it. It's tinted a little bit, but it's going to stay a lot more white than it would if you put the blue on the front side. So you want to remember to put it on the back side. So we'll move this one off to the side. And then we have the second one, which was the ghost print. Is this flipped over already?
Yes, I believe that's the back. Can you see that little bit of red on it? There was a little bit of red.
Yeah, that's the front.
That's
okay.
Yes, that's the side with the paint.
So you may want to make some kind of an indication on your paper so that you can remember what is the back. That was a little bit of a challenge for us, and Barb made a little tick mark, but guess what? You could see the tick mark all the way through. Yeah. So after she made the tick mark, it was like, oh, is that the back or the front? So maybe stick a piece of tape or something on it. I don't know.
That wasn't my best plan.
Well, it seemed like a good plan.
Yeah, a lot of things seemed like a good idea at the time.
Right. So this is greenish yellow.
And that one has a half a triangle filled in, so it's not as transparent as the blue, right? But it is not opaque either.
Right. It has the square is half full. On the diagonal, the square is half full. So that means it's halfway.
Let me get you a clean brush because that's going to end up...
Oh, yeah. That's going to make green. This one's dirty with blue.
I'll swap you.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My sous chef over there.
That's right. We all have our roles.
Okay. So once again, I'm spritzing down the paper. I think it got a little bit of blue on it from the table, but... So this one being half full square on the front of the container, you're going to want to add a little bit more water so that you can make it less opaque. Whereas the manganese blue was a completely open square on the container. So I didn't need to worry about the transparency of it. But you know what? It's going to give you unique, different effects. If you have a paint that's partially opaque, it's going to let less of the stuff show through it. So it'll be a more subtle effect, and there's nothing wrong with a little bit of subtle.
That might be perfect for a certain project. I mean, you might want less of the underlying imagery, whether it's text or whatever it is, to show through. And those are the kind of decisions you make as you go along. Yes, I want this to be a little bit better covered or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. So, so like we usually say, not better or worse, just different. So here we go. We're going to take this up. And
piece of paper towel, please.
Thank you. And wipe that. We're working on our nonstick craft mat. This covers the entire table surface. If you don't have this, you might want to put it on your wish list because it's fantastic. But in the meantime, if you don't have it, you want to be doing this on a piece of plastic so that you can let this dry and it doesn't stick. Because if you lay this out on a piece of paper, it's going to stick when it dries because the base of acrylic paint is polymer, which is like a glue. So you need to be on plastic or vinyl. Okay, so here's the white with the yellow showing through the back. And we will let these dry, and then I'll show you how they overlay in collage. So these are dried, and I trimmed the two that I created down to the same size as the pink one, and I've got some maps here so we can talk about how the overlay effect is. So I'm overlaying maps. You could be overlaying another piece of collage paper in a different color. You could be overlaying book pages or sheet music or dictionary pages, or any kind of printed material, postage stamps, whatever. So let's start with the blue one. And I'm going to be using gloss medium because I feel like the gloss liquid medium is going to give us the best hopes of the most transparency with the paper. The liquid kind of just seeps into the paper really well. And the gloss, I think, helps to keep everything a little bit more transparent, translucent than the matte. Because matte has its own level of not quite so clear because it's matte. So we'll see. Okay, so this is the gloss medium. I'm putting I'm using the side with the white up because there's more contrast than the back side. But you could also use the back side. You could also experiment with either. So put that down, and then we're going to brush. Ooh, look at that, Barb.
Ooh.
And then we're going to brush.
The road work is showing.
Yeah, more gloss medium through. And I'm going to really press it with this brush, really press it to get it to push through that medical exam paper and get all the way through it and hopefully make it really as transparent as we can get it so that we're seeing the map lines or whatever you have underneath, whatever you choose to put underneath. And they're all tinted blue from the color on the back, which kind of makes them a little uniform. And, you know, if you wanted to put this in the sky or in a composition where you definitely want it to be blue, everything we see through is blue. So there's our first one. And I think that looks really terrific.
It does. I didn't see it initially until you started to lay the gloss medium, because I'm standing back here thinking, I'm not seeing that. And then I got closer and you started to put the medium on and it really became transparent.
Yeah, look at that. And it's so it's a nice transparent overlay for collage. So I'm just doing it on the sample sheet, but how I would do it is I would use it in my work when overlaying papers in the background or even in the subject matter, you know, all different ways to use this, but I could definitely see it in the background too. Okay, so now I'm just doing the same thing, a pretty decent, generous layer of this. And then we put again, I'm putting the white printed side up for the highest effect of seeing the white. Ooh, look at that.
That just pops right through.
Yeah. And if you remember, this was the partially opaque color, but a lot of water made it definitely transparent. And so you get a whole different effect with it as tinted and in yellow. So we get everything that you see through it is now tinted in yellow, and we have the blue. And then lastly, we'll do the pink. So this is fun. I like this.
It's very different. This is not something that I would have thought to do, but I can see where, obviously I'm not a collage artist the way that you are, but I could see how I could use this as a really fun layer on a journal page or in a mixed media piece. I mean, I do all kinds of stuff that isn't necessarily in a journal, but it ends up getting applied to a journal page, and this just has lots of applications for that.
Definitely. And especially if you have a color, you know, if you're using a specific 2 or 3 colors in your journal page, this stain on the back unifies everything that shows through, so it's all going to be in that pink hue, regardless of what color it was to begin with. Like you can see that in this one really well.
What I think is interesting is the yellow underneath looks a little bit corally colored because of the pink that's lying on top of it.
Yes, yeah. So this one, I love this one too. So you can see that was blue right there. See the blue, and it gets the pink tint, right? So we have the blue from the whatever water this is, and it gets the pink tint, and also the yellow. You have the yellow here, but it also gets the pink tint. So that tint, like Barb said, you can see it here where it blends with the pink, so it's a little bit more of a corally color. But overall, that pink tint kind of unifies everything underneath it to be in that pink hue. So there you have 3 different tints with white gel printed patterns overlaid as transparency in collage paper. Now we did white. Of course, you could do any color with these. We stuck with white, kind of keeps it neutral with the other colors, but of course you can experiment with gel printing in other colors and adding tinted backgrounds and overlaying them. The possibilities are endless. So that was fun. I think I'm excited to have been able to experiment with the medical exam paper, because that's something like I did research and looked at transparent papers, and we have featured wet strength tissue paper, usugami paper. What else? Any other translucents?
Well, this technique coming from the back with paint is something that you taught me to do on the acetomo paper, which doesn't become transparent per se, but that technique crosses lots of different papers. So pay attention to that. Go back and maybe look at it again and realize that you can use that on other papers too.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is just another paper in our repertoire of transparent papers for overlay and collage.
There you go.
We'll see you back here next time.
Bye.